Hey there, I'm Leanna Hollis with Faith Lived Out Loud. Today's story is not quite a book review, but has something to do with the book I'm reading. One of my goals this year was to read some of the classics that I have overlooked in all of my other studies. So my book this month is a classic science fiction book, Journey to the Center of the Earth by Jules Verne. Now, this is not a book written as an allegory, but boy, can I see some life lessons in it. The three main characters, at least right now, because I'm moving pretty slow in this book, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Professor Hardwig and his nephew Harry are the two main characters, and then Hans is their guide through their journey. Professor Hardwig wants to go to the center of the earth, and he thinks he knows the way to get there. He is so excited about the journey, so optimistic about the outcome. He has his eye on the goal, and he does not waste any time whining or complaining. No matter what hardship they face, he's all in. He's happy about everything because his eye is on the goal and he really wants to get there. Harry, on the other hand, is just along for the ride. He thinks his uncle made him come, though he could have stayed behind. Mostly he's there because he didn't want to be ashamed for not going. He's afraid. He's unhappy. He resents every hardship. He grumbles all the time. There's only one of those two that's having a good time on this big journey, and it's not Harry. I don't know how he doesn't make it miserable for Professor Hardwig, but Professor Hardwig perseveres even when he's saddled with Harry's bad attitude. They have a guide named Hans who only speaks in one-word sentences, and very seldom does he speak at all. But the good thing about Hans is, first of all, he knows the way to where they're headed. Number two, he is not worried about his ability to get there. Number three, he never complains. He just keeps persevering no matter the hardship. And he is as steady as a rock. So when they're afraid and they're uncertain and they don't know what to do, they look to Hans and he shows the way. Now, this was not written as an allegory. I'm not even pretending it was. But don't you see so much of us in Hans and Harry and Professor Hardwig? I'd like to be a Professor Hardwig who sees all the challenges of life as exciting and fun and never complains, and someone who embraces whatever hard thing God brings to me, whatever challenge, and says, yes, I believe you can get me there. I will do what you want me to do. However it is, whatever it takes, no matter the cost, I'm all in. I'm afraid, though, that there are days when I'm a lot more like Harry, whining and complaining and afraid of the outcome and afraid of the journey and unsure whether I can trust the guide or not. Now, I guess I'm not the only one who responds to life like that. So in case you're not a Hans, leading others in the direction they need to be going, or a Professor Hardwig who's thrilled to death about the adventure ahead and willing to face any journey to get to his goal. In case you're more of a Harry, let's think about how difficult the grumbling made the journey out of Exodus, not only for Moses, but also for the other children of Israel. All of them had a tough road. And one of the reasons was because they grumbled about the present and kept their eye on the past. I think that's part of what grumbling does. We think it can be like it used to be, and the way it used to be was never really as idyllic as we think it is. So, grumbling didn't bless them, and it won't bless us. So to this week, the challenge is to face whatever comes our way with joy and enthusiasm and optimism, knowing that the Lord has a plan. And Jeremiah 29:11 says, I know the plans I have for you, plans for welfare and not for calamity, to give you a future and a hope. Now, lest we think that verse was written at a time when Israel was having a great day, it was not. This was spoken to them and over them at a time when they were in bondage and life was hard. They were in exile in Babylon. God saw them where they were and said, I have a plan for you, and it's going to end up good. You're going to have to walk it out to get there, though. So I believe he's saying that same thing to us. He has a plan for us. It is good. And no matter what we face, if we will follow him, he will take us to that beautiful goal of an eternity with him. Y'all have a great day and a great week, and I'll see you soon.